Henry Nouwen once said that beyond the differences that separate us, we share one common humanity and thus belong to each other. But the mystery of life is that we discover this human togetherness not when we are powerful, but when we are vulnerable and weak. When we look at Jesus' death, life, and resurrection, we see that the truest demonstration of deep love and care is captured not in brilliant power, but vulnerability and weakness, as Christ gives His life away for those held hostage by the bondages of life, signifying for us that deep and significant life within community doesn't come out of the abundance of our emotional, spiritual, and physical capacities. Deep and significant life blossoms out of the poverty of our hearts, in which we open ourselves up to each other as genuine human beings. And yet rarely do we truly live out of our own poverty. Perhaps it's because we buy into the notion that to be a good Christian means being good at being a Christian, thinking that meaning is found in the success of achieving or displaying our own personal best. But the better we get at displaying our own personal best with each other, of achieving our ideas of perfection, even if they're spiritually oriented, the more isolated we become. We end up comparing ourselves to each other, lifting up our own strengths and devaluing others and their weaknesses. And this focus on strength alone doesn't allow for love to grow or flourish. Instead, it leads us into constant comparison with other people as we see them better and worse than ourselves. But true community is built upon vulnerability and shared weaknesses over and against personal success and power. For me, the song You Shine Through is a great celebration of the paradoxical nature of the community of faith, of how God creates and sustains the church out of her shared brokenness, rather than the strengths of its individual members. Through the cracks in all of us, through the fractures in our dust, God does something significant and beautiful. He creates and sustains true communion between people who might otherwise be isolated and cut off from one another. Think of Israel, who was chosen as a demonstration of God's faithfulness rather than anything that she possessed as a nation. A true demonstration of love and wholeness found within a community formed around vulnerability and weakness rather than strength. Somehow, Jesus transforms our brokenness with each other into a place that generates true Christian community. A place where the lonely are loved, the wrecked are restored, the poor aren't neglected, and the rich aren't despised. Through our broken hearts and deepest scars, God brings beauty to this world by drawing us together in vulnerable communion. A picture of what God desires for all of His creation.
All of us, through the fractures